Hello everyone, I hope all had a wonderful and happy New Year's. We're at the beginning of 2017 and I'd just like to make a short video. I'd like to bring attention to a couple of things. Now, it seems that our environment, our world, planet, what have you, our universe, are going through big changes, as well as individually ourselves. And I'd like to, as I said, bring up a few interesting ideas that I think might be beneficial, maybe not. But it seems to me that with economically, hey, the stock market is, skyrocketing, and the value of the dollar, the U.S. dollar, is, strong. But there are also a lot of pundits, if you will, or researchers, or what have you, that are putting out opinions, giving indications or what have you, that maybe this financial situation isn't as strong or beneficial, let's say, to everyone as it may be being portrayed in mainstream media. And I'd like to throw an idea out there, and if someone that is more capable than myself to implement these ideas, and maybe more than one person, in different areas of the world, country, whatever you want to call it, state, city. There's a website out there, and I'm not going to name the name, but I am going to describe the service that they provide. It's basically a free classified website where you can post classifieds to buy and sell things, and it's free. And this particular website, from what I understand, they make, they have an income. They are able to pay for whatever the cost is for them to provide this site, and I'm sure maybe even, and probably more so, their livelihood for existing. And they do that by charging for real estate ads or room for rents, or that type of classified ads. Well, I thought of an idea, and maybe several other people have, maybe many other people have, and I have approached a few different people with the idea, and they say, oh, it'll never work. It never work. It could never work. Well, maybe the time has come that we need to shift our paradigms. In other words, maybe look at our difficulties that we need to overcome in a different light, so that we can come up with answers to these problems, that we can help ourselves as well as helping other people in a major way. Now, again, to bring up the monetary situation and all, it's hard. Life is very hard. It's hard to make a living. It's becoming harder and harder for a family, for a person to provide for their family, and for themselves as well, if they don't have a family. So anyway, this idea is similar, would be to start something similar to the site that I just described, but rather than based on buying and selling these items or what have you, what if there was a site that could be used to connect people that would like to barter for necessities, for fun stuff, luxuries, if you will, or food even, or boarding, lodging, what have you. It could be called something like TradeMe.com or BarterRama, or just it could be named anything. But given the popularity of the free website that I described earlier, the free classified ad website, that idea, it took off, and it's very popular, it's very successful. So with maybe not so much now with the high Dow Jones Industrial, the stock markets and stocks and all that kind of stuff, and the strong dollar. Well, again, maybe not everyone is so fortunate to be able to participate in that system. And and people say, oh, well, go out and get you a job or whatever. Well, you can go out and get a job, but not necessarily a job that pays well enough or gives you enough hours to make enough money to pay for these necessities, the necessities of life, to provide for your family, and for yourself. So eventually, whether it be now or sometime in the future, humanity is going to have to start getting along better. We're going to have to start communicating with each other better in order to just really survive. Now, we should have been able to do this a long time ago, in my opinion. But it seems as though currency, money, paper, dollar bills, or coins, or what have you, it has pulled us away from our essence of being human. And rather than depend on our fellow human, our friends, our companions, our just strangers for that matter, we more and more have concentrated that dependency on these pieces of paper and little discs or rounds, if you call them, with numbers stamped on them that represent currency, that represent an exchange medium for your labor provided or for products provided, in order to be able to go somewhere else or to someone else or what have you, and buy the necessities that are needed or pay for the necessities that are needed. So, in my opinion, I think it's time for people maybe to start thinking about maybe getting along with each other a little better. And that can be hard to do. I think for the most part, that ability in a wide-ranging example, we're losing more and more of the personal involvement with each other. As I said, to be able to communicate, in a meaningful and beneficial way, not for just one party, but for all parties that are involved. Now, I'm not gonna, I don't want to take any more time on the video, but I just wanted to throw this idea out there. If you can do something with it, please do. I'm not in the position to be able to do that right now, but to upload a video doesn't cost me anything. And, with social media the way it is, well, maybe the word will get around to somebody. And hey, even if I can't come up with even if I can't facilitate the idea, maybe someone else will, and I'll be able to benefit from a type of barter system or what have you later on sometime. I have used that other site several times to buy and sell items, and the cost no cost was incurred by that site to be able to do that, but yet they do happen to be able to generate an income that pays for their servers and the manpower or what have you, the staffing that run that site. So, maybe we can work something out. We can shift our paradigms. We can more. What's the word? We can more. We can initiate and participate in a more beneficial system, and actually maybe call it an alternative system to the currency type of system. It might come a time the ATMs may not work, or it might be just a digital currency only kind of thing, or what have you. Something could happen that doesn't work. But the way that I feel is that if we can pull together in some way to get used to working with each other again, to get used to the human interaction, and maybe that will lead to the fellowship, the compassion, that all humans have, whether or not they admit that they have it or even want to show in some way that they have it or what have you. It can happen. It can work, and we need. I think it would be a good idea for humans to get back to their roots. For people to get back to their roots. It will. I think that something along the lines of the bartering type of site or what have you, that will start, if it would become popular, that would get people back into the idea of working with each other, with communicating with each other, and not only in just type something in the computer and hit the enter and send it along. No, I would think it would be more focused on local levels at first, and that people would once again start interacting with each other. It would maybe be a community builder, and maybe we could regain some of this impersonality that the current currency system has produced. And so anyway, everyone, I sincerely hope that you have a great and happy New Year. I'm looking forward to it. I do believe that it will be an exciting one way or the other. So with that said, everyone have a great New Year's. Look towards the best. Try, if you can, to look at the best qualities in people. We all have our faults, and we have I won't say disagreements, but we don't agree with each other on everything. But maybe if we start interacting more with people, and that will give us a sense of it will give us a reason to interact and to see that there's good qualities about pretty much everyone, and that when we get used to that, then that will build and build over time, and we will become a more compassionate community, a society, if you will. And if all these jobs that because regardless of what the official numbers say, there's probably about a third of the population in America. I don't know about all of the other places around the globe, but in America, roughly about a third of the people that are able to hold a job, a 40-hour-a-week job or whatever, full-time job, that don't have a job. and that it's not that they don't want a job. For the most part, they would love a job. And if you get back and look into some of the